So guys, the chosen ones have a choice. It all comes down to having a choice at the end of the day. It doesn't mean you don't have to work. You can work and be a chosen one, but you have to have a choice. Chosen ones need their freedom. You need your freedom. The last place you want to be in is being stuck somewhere you absolutely have to be. Stuck somewhere you absolutely have to go to. You should have a choice. With a choice comes freedom. With freedom comes abundance. With abundance comes everything. And there's a reason why chosen ones can't work a job. And when I say can't work a job, I mean you're stuck working a job that you don't want to go to. Now you could go to school, you could become a doctor, you could make a crazy amount of money and not feel stuck. Because being a doctor could be your purpose. But the people that have it the worst in the world, obviously it's poor people first. But you don't want to be in a position where you're stuck at some job you don't even want to go to, you don't even want to be at, and it makes bare minimum amount of money and you're working way too hard, making not nearly enough money as you should for the work you're putting in, making somebody else a lot more money than you're making. It's just not right. It comes down to changing your mindset about things and how things actually are. It comes down to skills at the end of the day. They say skills pay the bills, and it is the truth. Your skills with whatever you're doing will pay the bills. The higher your skill set, the more money you're going to make. You could specialize in building fences for people, like fences to go with your house. And you could make the best fences ever, expensive high-end fences, and you can make a lot of money doing it. You could be a very skilled doctor. You could be very skilled at plastic surgery. You could be very skilled in a specific area and make a lot of money because your skill is in high demand. Your skill requires a lot of skill. The thing you're doing requires a lot of skill. So the lower your skill set, the less you're going to get paid. If you were chosen to do something that requires quite a bit of skill. You're probably unique at whatever you do. So, working a regular 9 to 5, working a job you didn't even go to school for, working on a fish plant, working somewhere that just makes no sense. It does not require a lot of skill. Almost anybody can do it. You could drag a bum off the street and they'll do it. That's why you get paid such little amount of money. Because it does not require a lot of skill. You just show up, do what you're told, and you're not even skilled. But the more skilled you are at something, the more you will get paid. If you're very good at building houses, you will get paid a lot of money. If you're terrible at building houses, you will not get paid a lot of money. If you're very good at being a doctor, you'll get paid a lot of money. If you're just the average nurse or something, you'll still get paid quite a bit, but not as much as a high-end nurse. There's levels to certain things, so the higher your skill set, the more you will get paid. And chosen ones have a high skill set, so they'll get paid a lot of money for doing what they do, for doing what they are chosen to do on this planet. And something else too, you can't do too many things in life, because if your energy is going into certain places, too much of your energy is going into to certain things. The thing you do best will become not as good as it could be. So it will become not 100%. That's why you can't do too many things. If you're going to do more things, it should be towards the thing you're really skilled at, to make that skill even better so you can get paid even more money, so you can have more freedom. This is how it works. Most people in life do not have the right mindset. Most people in life never actually grow as a person and develop more skill because they don't want to take the time to do it. But if you take the time and the energy to build your skill set, you will make more money. You might be able to do one or two things really, really good. I would not go any more than one or two things doing it really, really good. Because after that, everything is going to start to suck. If you put your eggs in too many baskets, every basket is going to suck because it's not going to have enough eggs. It's not going to have enough pop. The things you do is not going to be good enough. And like I said, unfortunately, not enough people in this world have the right mindset when it comes to making money and freedom and how things actually work in this world. Because it does come down to skill. To the wire, it comes down to skill. You could be skilled at anything. You could literally be chosen to do something. That is your chosen path. You could be chosen to play hockey. You could be chosen to play basketball. You could be chosen to do anything. If you have the attributes to play basketball, let's say you're 6'4" to 6'9" or something like this, a very tall individual, and you're skilled, you could probably make the NBA if you really put in the time. So you could be chosen to do that. You could be chosen to play hockey. You could be good on skates and a puck and a stick, gloves. You just never know until you develop your skills. And some people figure it out early, some people figure it out later. But this is all on you. You have a choice. Everybody has a choice. It is up to you to build a particular skill set in what you really want to do and what you could do for a long, long time. Some people specialize in video games. Some people make money playing video games. They specialize on that one game that can make them an enormous amount of money. Twitch streamers, things like that. They're so good at the game because that's all they do. They can make a crazy amount of money. They could have been chosen to do that. They're better at everybody else in the world at that game. So with this mindset, it will really open your eyes. Instead of having the mindset, I need to go to school, I need to get this job, and when I get this job I can make some money, when it's not even the best job. Like, you could probably do better than that. Unless by some divine miracle you just really love to do it, then I guess go ahead and do it. But too many people in the world are selling themselves short. And nothing is going to be easy. Some things is a long journey. Some things take a long time to really get going, but it's all up to you and what you want to do and how far you're willing to take whatever it is that you're doing. Over time, you have to grow what you're doing. Over time, you have to get better at what you're doing and improve your skill set. Get more comfortable with what you're doing. Just be better by putting in the time, putting in the work, putting in the effort. And this is the correct mindset to have in life. Every single person in the world should have this mindset, but not everybody does. Most people think, I'm just going to do bare minimum because I need to pay bills. I need to make a little bit of money so I can live. Let me just go to school and get this job. I can have this job. I can get enough money. And that's all I have to do. Instead of just putting in a little extra work, even in a few extra hours a day, 1 extra hour a day, anything, and you might be able to make double, triple what you make. What you make. It really comes down, guys, to having the right mindset. That's what it comes down to. And chosen ones cannot just work a job and that's it. They just can't. They can't, unless, like I said, it's very high end. That requires a very particular skill set where there's not a lot of you involved. Like there's jobs that, let's say you become a welder or something. That's just so common. That's not really that special. It's just, you're just a worker like everybody else, kind of. I don't know. But if you do something that's kind of unique, there's not a lot of you. You're needed very much. And you're good at what you do. You'll end up getting paid a lot and you'll have a lot of freedom. But if you don't do that and you just kind of get a job where there's so many of you involved, you're easily replaceable. There's already so many of you. You're not going to get paid that much. Like, could you imagine if carpenters just vanished out of thin air in this world? How much they would be wanted and how much money they would make for doing what they do? It could be anything, even welding. All these things are needed in the world to keep the world going. Houses need to be built. Apartments need to be built. Condos need to be built. Everything needs to be built. New stores, new buildings, new everything needs to be built. Boats, anything. So people like that just vanished and no one knew how to do it. The people that could go and get those skills to do those things would be paid a lot of money. Way more than they're making right now. But the thing is, the more common of the thing that you do, the less you're going to make. It's very common to be just a worker, to show up somewhere and be a worker for a fish plant or some corporate company, a tax center, whatever. It's common. Your skill set is not, it's common. But if you have a very particular, special skill set, you're going to make more. You will have more freedom. You'll be able to do more things. And that's what it's all about. But not everybody has that mindset. Not everybody has the right mindset. Not everybody is willing to go that far. So, I don't know. But chosen ones, all chosen ones understand this mindset. All chosen ones get life. Not everybody does. But it's up to you to really wake up. And honestly, I'm going to make a video and go further into detail on what I'm about to say, but more people in the world right now, believe it or not, are waking up. The world is changing. The amount of information we have, the amount of things that's being shared today, more people than ever are waking up, are seeing the truth of what this world actually is, and how to do better, how to live a better life. And I believe everybody should strive to live a better life. Everybody could be rich. Everybody could be a lot bigger than they are. It's about doing better. Gaining a stronger skill set. Having more freedom. Even if you're a fighter, and your skill set is very unique, nothing like anyone's ever saw, and you step in that octagon, you fight. Your name and your brand will blow up, and you will make a lot more money, because the fighters that have the biggest names are making the most money because they generate the most money for the event. Therefore, they get paid the most. That's how the fight business goes. If you don't have a big name and you can fight, but no one cares, you don't make a lot of money. The bigger your name, the more you're going to make. The more specific skill sets you have, the more you're going to make. At the end of the day, this world is about freedom. It's not necessarily about the money. It's about the freedom. Money just so happens to create more freedom for everybody. How can you be free when you're stuck at a low-end job, making bare minimum? You can barely pay your bills. You barely have enough money to leave your house to go out of left field. Because if you do, you might not be able to pay your bill. That is just stuck. That is what no chosen one is in that position. You can't call yourself chosen if you're in that position. Or at least you're going to get yourself out of that position and onto bigger and better things, and you're working on it. Then you could be. But it's all about getting yourself out of that position, doing better, doing bigger things, building your skill set to the point where you're wanted, to the point where you're almost needed. And then you'll do better, you'll get paid more freedom, more everything. You're happier, family's happier, dogs and cats are happier, everything. So, something to think about. I got a lot of sun yesterday and I'm just warped today. The heat where I come from right now is ridiculous. Very, very muggy because we live on the water. I live in an island surrounded by water. It's very muggy. The heat hits different here. But yeah, plain and simple, chosen ones can't be stuck at a 9-to-5 job. Chosen ones can't just work. I'm not saying you can't work at all. You can work. You just can't be really stuck. You have to have your freedom. You have to have a choice. Having a choice of not, if you don't want to go there, you don't have to go there. You're good. You're basically just good. Like, you're not in a cycle where you just have to keep repeating every little single thing you're doing every single day, and you're just stuck in that cycle. That is not freedom. Freedom is having a choice. And you have to get yourself to that point where you have a choice. You have a literal choice. You have so many choices. And the harder you work, the smarter you work, the sooner you will be in that position, rather than being stuck in that cycle of repetition. You have a choice. And repetition and doing the same thing every single day at the same time every single day, that's just horrendous. It is horrendous. There should be days where you can even do something at a different time because you have a choice. You have your freedom. Working for yourself, it is a pleasure. You have your freedom. You work for somebody else all the time and that's all you do. You're there at a specific time. You leave at a specific time. You are told what to do all the time. That is not freedom. So, this is my take on why chosen ones can't work a job. It just, even if you do, you'll get yourself out of there if you are chosen. And like I said, it's about building that skill set. It's about building your skills to make things a lot better for yourself. And you should have no problem doing that over time. Everything takes time. Don't be too hard on yourself, but at the same time, kind of. You have to kind of give yourself that edge. You have to have that sense of urgency sometimes, because if you don't have a sense of urgency, you might just not do enough. You have to do enough. You have to give it a lot of what you've got in this world. There's going to be times where you really got to hustle. You got to dig down deep. Skills pay the bills, for real. Skills will give you the freedom that you want. But if you're just average Joe, doing something here for this person, working on a fish plant, it's very, very, very low. You're not going to budge doing those things. And something else chosen ones are good at as well is getting as much taxes taken off as possible and not paying as much taxes as possible. If you can do that, you'll be in a good spot, because everyone, pretty much everyone, depending on where you live, I guess, but a lot of people are taxed out the ass, and it is very not fair. They take a big percentage of the money you make every single year, which is crazy. Like, ridiculous. So you have to be smart enough to find ways around it, to bend and to manipulate the system, because this system has every single person alive by the nuts. It's up to you to be smart enough to be able to work your way around it without getting in trouble, but do it the right way, to the point where you actually don't have to pay as much as you should because you were smart about it. So there's things like this, man, that really makes the world of a difference for everybody. You don't want to be the person paying way too much taxes every year. That's just stupid. Everyone's ripped off. The system is crazy. The system, the most powerful people in the world have the best. It is clear as day. They run the show. They run the show. The world is trying their best to keep you a slave to the system. You are basically working for the system for such little payback. So you have to be smart enough. Smarts is going to get you everywhere you need to be. The smarter you are, the better off you will be. There's no doubt about it. So think about this one at least.